Hello, welcome to Living Abroad, the podcast. My name is Pumla Zita. This podcast is meant to be a documentation, a celebration, and really just a sharing space for people who have moved away from their birth countries to another country. And it doesn't matter where you moved to from, you have a story to tell. And this is our first episode, which I was hoping it was going to be something more positive, but it's not. Today we're talking to a man from Nigeria who was studying in Ukraine when the war broke down. And yes, he's here to share his sad and shocking story. And yes, please subscribe, share, and comment below. And if you want to get in touch with the guys, and if you have any help you can provide them, please get in touch with us. We'll put you through to them. Again, thank you so much for joining me and for agreeing to speak to me.
You're welcome.
Yes. And just like a quick recap, like as I mentioned to you, like this podcast is called Living Abroad, is to document our lives as immigrants who have moved from wherever we have and living in different countries. And if you can just maybe just introduce yourself, a small intro, and like where you're from and when you moved to Ukraine and what you were studying there.
Okay, my name is Abanulor Anderson. I'm a Nigerian. I moved to Ukraine last year. I just finished up. I'm doing my master's degree in business management. Normally, when you want to start, you have to do what to call language course for 1 year before you could start. I just finished that and I just started my master's degree before this whole thing started.
So you mean when you say a language course, you have to learn Ukrainian?
Yes.
Wow. Can you speak a little bit?
Just the hello, hi, and how to buy something. So
wow.
So but right now it's just crazy. I never wanted to leave, but it became so serious. I had help from one Natalia. She's from Canada, and 15 of us. She helped to evacuate 15 of us.
And I think, like now I just wanted to talk to you about like before, like the tension before the war actually started, because we've been hearing stories like, I think it's about December, right? That there's like a military build-up coming to Ukraine, like border and things like that from Russia. So what were you guys hearing?
We thought it's just because we're thinking at least when something like that wants to happen, you start seeing military on the streets, you start seeing the police on the streets, security would beefed up and a lot of it. But there was nothing like that. We're just sleeping, waking up the next morning, you're hearing a building maybe 100 meters away being hit. Your building's shaking, like you're sleeping on your bed, you felt a vibration from the bomb from another, let's say, meters away. You have to wake up. What's going on?
When was this? Like in December, or you're talking about like 10 days ago?
No, we're talking about 10, 11 days ago when it just started.
Okay. But because before then, were there any stories that there might be a war? Were you guys scared, like the build up, like when the military was building up in the border?
Yes, we heard about it, but we didn't take it serious because normally we're expecting, if anything like that will happen, we're expecting to see military on the streets. Let's say the police on the streets, security being beefed up. There was no tension, lives were going on, shops were open, clubs were open, everywhere were just, going on. Schools were going to school normally, no tension, nobody stops you. What are you carrying? Nothing like that. So it just happened. It just started a day before you know it. it's just turned to a burial ground, a dead ground, And also we're like, another thing was that we're just like, I'm still part of people that we're like, no time they will come and maybe start attacking civilian buildings to still between military and military.
Yes.
But what we thought was you look, just as I'm talking to you, like maybe as I'm talking to you, as I'm seeing you now, let's say I'm looking outside my house. Within 10 minutes, that house you're looking at, you see flames, fire.
I mean, when did you guys realize, oh, wow, this is serious. We need to get out of here? On day one?
On day one, yes. No, not because on day one, they were still at, is it Kharkiv? That was when it started, Kharkiv. We're like thinking just maybe they're attacking militaries. But when it started affecting civilians building, then Sumy and a whole lot of it. Then they came to Kherson in Kiev here. There's a place called Kherson.
How far is that from you? How far is that from where you were?
It's still a bit far.
Oh, okay.
It's still a bit far, but from there, it started escalating, coming in. I told you my own building was hit. Yeah. The house where I stay in Sofiska.
That's when, yeah, but it was then too late to just say, oh, I'm getting a plane, I'm running away, I'm going home.
No, I'm already away. I left the house 2 days before it was hit. Now, everything stopped working. The lights went off, internet, no more water. The shops don't even have water. Transportation, Bolt, Uber, none is working again. So most of us had to trek to the train station. We sleep at the bunker because most houses have bunker. You go there as a shelter. You go on that there. That's where you sleep. So that is just, we're just living. Most of us didn't have a shower for 5 days.
So now you're getting away, you're trying to get into the border.
Yeah. Getting to the border, you have to get to the train station first.
Yeah, tell me about that journey from where you were living to go to the train station.
Going to the train station is like 3 hours if you want to trek because there's no transportation. From my own building, some people it's 5 hours, some is 4, some is just few minutes, depending on where you're living.
Yes.
And we then had just one central train station.
Wow. So you walk for 3 hours?
Yeah.
So you're like a group now of Nigerians or of the students, or you all mixed? So who did you guys end up like grouping with?
No, it's just a mixed stuff right now because one, we all, is one, most people, like most of us here now in Poland, most of us were in a hotel before. Most of us were in a hotel before we now, from online and every other thing, you start hearing information. Then we contacted these people. They were like, okay, come over here. Here we have Cameroonians, we have Gambians, the Indians left, and other people, but mainly Nigerians because it's just all about Nigeria, but they had to accommodate others.
Yes.
So that is it. That is just the situation. But the worst part of it was getting out.
Yeah. So yeah, at the train station, when you get to the train station,
they won't allow you as a black man.
But tell me about that. Like, you're standing in the line and they just say you black, don't, like, how can you just tell me about that? Like, what did they say?
No, now at the train station, there's no line. I mean, the train station at Kiev here, there's no line there. Yes. It's just when the train arrives, you just rush to go and enter.
Yes.
Now, entering there, the security, I'm telling you, these are security men beating you out of the train.
Even if you're inside, they will pull you out of the train?
Not even pulling, they're going to punch you, they're going to beat you. To an extent, some people that even made it hard to fight. But even at the fighting, you couldn't stay. At the end, they will say, okay, at the entrance, that's where you're going to stand. You will not sit. You stand imagine someone standing for 14 hours. to make it to Lviv.
And they're saying, like, bluntly, like, you're not getting in because you're black. This train is only for white people, basically.
Yeah, that is it. But the worst part of it is there at Lviv. Even the bus itself don't even, you only book a taxi, which you're gonna pay double. The trains, you don't even come close. That you said, you don't come close. No place for you to even sleep. You have to we slept under the cold. Most of us were wearing like 10 shirts inside because of the cold and because of we don't have time to maybe come packing our luggages and a lot of it. So you have to like try put on the clothes you could wear at once. Some are putting on 3 trousers or 4 trousers, like 4 polo, 4 sweater or 3 sweaters, then your jacket.
Because it's cold.
Yeah, it's cold, but right now you're not wearing because it's cold. You're wearing it as in clothes. I mean, you might need.
Oh, that's you packing now your luggage onto your body.
Yes, that is it.
Oh my God. Yeah,
so
and
that,
then
so that is how it is. Then we slept under the cold, and we're like, oh, thank God we even dressed this way, wearing plenty clothes. How would we have done? So that's how we slept under the cold. The next day morning, because there was curfew. So when you get there by 6 p.m., you can't leave till 6 a.m. because of the curfew. So that is it. But people died. Even there at the border, people died.
You saw people dying there?
Yeah, at the border. People died. I'm telling you, people stood. Now, let me tell you this. Sometimes when you enter a bus or a taxi, maybe to Lviv, they will stop you like 3 to 4 kilometers away. Imagine you, before you get to the border, you have to walk for like 3 hours or 4 to get to the border.
Because they just stopped the bus.
And some people already trekked. They already trekked for like a day or 2 to get to that place. It's not, it's just what you're saying about how we moved out, not really what really happened. A lot happened. People, at least in the border there, you see people dying because no water in their system, no food, the cold and everything.
So where are you at this time? Where did you guys ended up?
We ended up here in Poland.
Okay, so it was okay to get into the border for you guys.
It's still another some people stayed 4 days at the border just to get it.
They just starting with the white.
Like the lady you spoke with earlier, she was pregnant, she fainted, and she was rushed to the hospital. They had to, I think they ran a little surgery on her neck here to revive her. They checked her baby, then transferred her to the gynecologist section or something. She was in the hospital for 5 days.
Oh my God.
So imagine no food, she didn't eat for some time, and every other thing. So it's crazy.
And like you were saying, like what we actually like just witnessing on these videos is basically 1% of what's going on.
Yeah, that might be 0.1% of what is really going on in Ukraine. At the time we left. We're not talking about after we left.
So. And I saw they said like because now the bridges are damaged and there are people who are basically like still trapped.
In Sumi. In Sumi. As in, like I said, the situation is just messed up. Most of our schools are damaged. I'm telling you about my own house, businesses. And it started, they shut down the banks, the ATM. Most of us don't have a dime on us. That's why you see we're here. We can't afford anything. We just manage whatever. Like I showed you this little bed I sleep. You see 2 people sleeping in a bed that can't contain 1. Or you just have to like throw down a wrapper or a blanket and sleep on the ground, or you wear double clothes and sleep on the ground because of the cold. Maybe you put on like 3 sweaters and 1 jacket and sleep on the ground. So that's the cold from the floor doesn't enter your body. So that is it. We're just managing, when you see you eat, and they are really trying the organization here, because we are more here. We're over 50 to 100 here.
And the other thing, when you were showing me around the house, that is one of the things that struck me, is like, why are you guys grouped? I mean, according to your color, why is it only Black people living in the house that you are living with? Because you are all running away from war. Are you not supposed to be mixed? How did they regroup you?
No, let me tell you, the Ukrainians are, like I told you earlier when you called, the first hotel I was staying, they made food at their reception or restaurant. They said it's only for Ukrainians. Once you're Black, you can't go there to eat.
While you're staying in the same hotel?
Yeah, while we're staying in the same hotel. So I don't know if it is the government that made the food for them, or maybe someone, I don't just know, but I never knew I could really stay 2 days without eating. What you get is the biscuits and other stuff they gave you at the border. I mean, the humanitarian services, they were really wonderful there at the Polish border. They helped us, gave us some clothes, towel, biscuits, drink, water, every other thing you need. That is, now you have to manage those biscuits so that when it so that it doesn't get finished. When you finish, you're on your own. So those what you manage with the little juice and the water. But don't have money to buy. And their currency is different from, let's say you have, like me, I had 2000s hryvnia on me, but I couldn't do anything with it because they're using zloty here.
When did they move you then? They just decided to move you to the house that you're living in now with the other Black people?
No, before then, this organization, when I called them, they were like, okay, we don't have space right now. But we're like 3 or 4 that came in. You could just check into it. They paid for the hotel for us to check in. So in that hotel, that's what I'm talking about. So when they not have space, they now moved us down here to compare with others. Yeah.
And I mean, we know like now, like, like you guys have been treated the way you've been treated, but how was life, like before this whole thing happened, before the war? How was living in Ukraine as a Black man?
Ukraine is a peaceful country. In the sense that everybody minds his or her own business. Yeah, though the racism is still there, they don't talk to you sometimes, but you're used to it.
What are they saying? Like, can you continue your studies in Poland, or
we're not yet 100%? They will say meeting, they will meet, they will discuss, and a whole lot of it. So right now, we're not 100%. But anyhow it is, we're alive. That's the most important thing.
But what do you have to say about like the amount of Ukrainians, like, help they got and the way they've been received in Poland versus, you guys? So why is it so different? Is it because maybe for me, it looks like white people, they do look after each other? And
no, to me, I think it is their country that is really affected, and they will say, you have your own country, go to your country. It is our country that is being affected. So that is just it. It's their country, it's not our country.
So like on that note, do you think maybe the African governments should have done more, like Nigerians and South Africans and all that, like to help you guys?
The worst part now is talking about the government, because they don't even care. Like my own government, they will only come, pick some few people, and they don't care. We have people in Sumi, they are doing nothing. They will only come to the capital or something, just pick few people and go. Just let it be that they've done something, So that is it. And now when you take them home, what is their fate? What are they gonna do? Instead of at least they are here, make provision for them. At least it's just, everybody in this house right now, when you lay down, what you do is you're thinking. Most of us we are slimming down and a whole lot of it because of the thinking.
Because they might say, okay, like you guys need to go back home and you lose your visas. It could be that situation.
Yeah, that is it. Once you get back home, your visa is gone. So that is it. That is it.
So how long is it like left for your studies now?
Said?
How many years did you you left in your degree?
A year, and I should be having a year and 8 months or so.
Oh my goodness. So how many of you are you in the house?
Right now?
Like how many of you are staying in that house?
We're over 50 to 100.
Wow. I am so sorry you guys have to experience this. I mean, the war is one thing, and you guys have to, like, for me, it's like the racism part of it that is shocking.
Yeah.
You would think when something like this happens, it's like, okay, let's help everyone. So for people to find time to be racist in a situation like this is just shocking.
They don't even care. That's just the problem. They don't care. Imagine sending someone out of the cold and it's snowing. You see the snow falling. You don't even care that, hey, this is a fellow human.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure they were like children as well. Like now we're talking to the pregnant lady,
Yeah, they don't even care. So that is it. It's crazy, but thank God we're alive. I know once there is life, there is hope.
And you guys are just like in the limbo now. You have no idea. You're living day by day, day by day.
One day at a time.
It's shocking. I don't know what to say. I'm really sorry, you guys. Like, thank you so much for talking to me. Like, thank you. And we'll keep in touch. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I mean, we could have like met in other like more pleasant like circumstances, but and your family is back in Nigeria.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they must be worried sick about you.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Well, thank God that there is life.
Yes. So we'll talk. I'll show you this. I'll record this and then I'll show you, like before I put it up. And keep in touch, please.
I will.
Yeah? Thank you so much. I'll let you go.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Say hi to the lady. What's her name?
I've been forgotten her name,
yes.
But I'm sure she'll get in touch. Sure that she's sleeping. She couldn't sleep last night, and we're trying to get her a hospital, a gynecologist where she could, because she's feeling really down. I'm not sure she's 100%. She's like 50% fit. Because she collapsed. She woke up in the hospital. So.
Because she's cold, she's hungry, and she's tired.
Yes. So that's
it's shocking what you guys have to go through. And you're not illegal immigrants, you're there, you're studying.
Yeah, that is it. That is it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'll keep in touch.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Please subscribe, like, share. We are on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and here.